All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we're going to start off by giving our praises and glory to
Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Chakwadash.
Double honors to the apostles and the elders like Sharada, their well. And salutations to you, Akim, out in the highways and the byways, preaching his word in truth and in sincerity. And basically, what we're going to touch on today is going to be on no sex on the Sabbath. Something simple, but yet, Jake is out there making it a big problem, because when it comes to the Sabbath, when you look up the word Sabbath, it means rest. It's really a memorial for what the Lord, how he made the heaven and the earth. It says 7 days, 6 days he worked, and 7 days he rested. So that's why we keep it. And the Lord set up rules and how we're supposed to keep it, and literally, really it's just a day where we literally cease from all our work and just worship Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. That's what we're supposed to do. Which is crazy. We have 6 days to do everything our heart desires, as long as it's not going off. And only one day the Lord requires us to cease from all that and worship Him. And yeah, you got niggas out here like, oh no, you gotta have, you could do it, you can't just not do it for just that one day, But if I may get unless you going.
Yeah, this is Exodus chapter 20, verse 8, right to the point. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy, right? And that word holy, it means to be, separate, to put to the side. Let's go into the blue letter real quick and just get more understanding.
That was Exodus 20?
Yeah, 20 verse 8. And this is the blue letter for holy, which is H or Hebrew, right? H6942. Kodash, to consecrate, sanctify, prepare, dedicate, be hallowed, be holy, be sanctified, be separate. Mm-hmm. All right. So we have to keep our worldly desires, the things that feel good, and we have to put that aside during the Shabbat. I got one more real quick.
Well, I was going to say, if you could keep reading.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Back in Exodus.
Mm-hmm.
Exodus 20, verse 9, 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. Verse 10, but the seventh day is the Shabbat of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates.
The next verse.
For in 6 days the Lord Yahweh made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the seventh day. Wherefore the Lord Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
Right, so it's symbolic for that. This is why we keep it. And the Lord gives us right there in verse 10 on how to keep it, And there's other, scriptures where we are going to get that tells you and goes really more into the pleasures of it. Because a ignorant or somebody, new might look at, it just says work. It doesn't say anything else. See, we could have pleasures. We could do this. Just says work right there. As long as we don't work, we could do this. We could do that. Nah. It says what? Keep it holy. Keep it holy and separate. It should be a day different from all the rest of the days. It should stand out, so to speak.
Right. This is Leviticus chapter 15, verse 16. And if any man's seed of copulation go out from him, meaning, you shoot your man butter out, sperm, right? Then he shall wash all his flesh in water and be unclean until the even. All right, so here it is. You're in the Shabbat. You know what I'm saying? If you have sex during the Shabbat, you're unclean, man. You're defiled. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to keep it holy. All right. You're supposed to, wait till sundown, because now you got to wait till sundown, so that you're not defiled anymore. Because it just says what? then until even you're gonna be unclean. You see, and now the Shabbat is over. So what's the whole point, man? You gotta keep it. You gotta keep the Shabbat holy, man. You don't have sex on the Shabbat, man. That's off. All right. You're just gonna piss off the Lord.
Okay. Yeah, I got one. And then this proves it, right? What you just said. This is First Samuel 20, and I'm gonna start at 20. I'm gonna start at 24. It says, so David hid himself in the field, and when the new moon was come, because the new moon is a Sabbath, a new moon really establishes how the Sabbath is gonna go in that for that month, right? It says when the new moon was come, the new month, which is a Sabbath, right? The king sat him down to eat meat, and the king sat upon his seat as at other times, even upon the seat by the wall. And Jonathan arose, and Amber sat by Saul's side, and David's place was empty. Now this is the point. Nevertheless, Saul spake not anything that day, for he thought something had befallen him. He is not clean, surely he is not clean. In other words, what this basically shows is how we honored the Sabbath. So even though David wasn't there because he was hiding, the people had this as a custom that if somebody would miss a Sabbath service or a Sabbath, a day to be amongst the congregation, it's because something had to happen and he was unclean, whether it was and really sex, like the brother was going into it. You become unclean once your sperm comes out. So they knew this, and it's no different from today.
If I may, this is Exodus chapter 19. I'll start at 14. And Moses went down from the mount unto the people and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, be ready against the third day. Come not at your wives. All right, so this is Exodus 19, verse 15. We're going to the blue letter. The word for come, it's H, which is Hebrew again, H5066. Let me see how you say. See, hold on a second. 144.
Nagash. Strong's H 5066. Nagash. Nagash.
So when you look down right here, one of the definitions is of sexual intercourse. All right, so here it is. Moses is telling the people not to come at your wives, not have sex with your wives, for the next 3 days. All right, because we're going to present ourselves to the Lord, so we got to be holy. Meaning we got to be separate, and not defiled.
Right there. It said it, right? Make yourselves holy or sanctify yourselves.
Yeah, and sanctified the people. It says that Moses went down from the mount unto the people and sanctified the people, and they washed their clothes. And he said unto the people, be ready against the third day. Come not at your wives.
Right, and sanctify is what? Another word for holy. So that's how you made yourself holy, not coming at your wives, washing your clothes, so on and so forth. Hey, even touching a dead body or something dead makes you defiled. So even technically, even then, you're not supposed to do that in the Sabbath. These are examples of how our ancestors used to keep, certain high holy days, and they always they every time it came to one, they weren't having, for instance, the Sabbath, they weren't having sex on that day. That day they were either, just resting, serving the Lord, doing things to of that matter, but working and, sex and their own pleasure, running around playing sports, and they weren't doing none of that. You know, they were keeping it holy, just like we are to do today. Today we're supposed to keep it holy to the best of our ability. We're not. It's not gonna be perfect. It's gonna be harder to keep it on this side than it was back then. But sex is something we could abstain from. You know, it's not like, oh shit, we got to. I forgot what group said it. Oh well, sleep is pleasurable. Like, come on, like now you're just playing, man. You know, sleep, like we need sleep. You know, sex is something that you can literally go weeks, months without. Really, you can't. You just one day you can't just not do it. That's at the end of the day, that's where the mindset of these other groups are at, man. Remember John, the fourth chapter, it says that he did that serve him and serve him in truth and in sincerity. That means everything that how the scriptures say it, that's what we're gonna do. You know, and only one group is doing that. We're really, if I'm, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think we're the only ones correcting these groups on that matter. Nobody else is saying, oh yeah, they're us and the men that may not call themselves GMS but follow the teachings of the apostles and elders.
God, this is Romans chapter 8, verse 5. For they that are after the flesh do mind the things of the flesh, but they that are after the Spirit, the things of the Spirit. Here it is on the Shabbat. All right. We cut off the whole world, man. We're focused in on the Lord, you see? Drawing closer to Him, supping with Him, you see? All right, nothing of our pleasures that we could do any other day of the week. Verse 6, for to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace, you see? Because the carnal mind is enmity against the Most High, for it is not subject to the law of the Most High, neither indeed can be. So then they that are in the flesh cannot please the Most High, man. So if someone's teaching you that you could have sex on the Shabbat, man, you gotta run away from that, man. You gotta go away, man. All right, because obviously the Lord is not dealing with that person. He's going to lead you to death. This is serious business here, man. All right, you got to consider, what we're involved in. This is the word of the Lord. This is not a light thing, and people need to realize that.
Yeah, that's true. This is Isaiah 58:13. It says, "If thou turn thy foot." It's like, if thou turn away thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of Yahweh, honorable, and shall honor him, not doing thine own ways, nor finding thine own pleasure, nor speaking thy own words. You see? And because that's how we're supposed to keep the Sabbath. Honoring Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, delighting, giving reverence to him, delighting in his Sabbath, and not doing our own ways. What we like doing, what we usually do on typical average days, and that day we gotta abstain from it. And the Lord basically said, this scripture basically says, if you were just to keep, in other words, if you just keep the Sabbath, then I would have been cool with you. In other words, I would have been straight. But it shows you that these are the same niggas back then, because they didn't even want to do that. It says, then shalt thou delight thyself in Yahweh, and I will cause thee to ride upon the high places of the earth, and feed thee with the heritage of Jacob thy father, for the mouth of Yahweh has spoken it. So hey, you niggas that are teaching that, man, hey, the Lord is gonna hold you accountable for that. And He's not gonna give you the heritage of Jacob. Those that are keeping the Sabbath to the best of their ability, as holy as possible, they're gonna get the heritage of Jacob. They're gonna get, the blessings. It says, scriptures say, well, don't add or take away.
Mm-hmm.
What you guys are doing is adding. Now, sincere believers that might follow, they're like, oh, that's okay. All right, now you're making them go off. So this is really a heavy heavy offense that you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, especially the first of the month is a high holy day. Which is Shabbat. Imagine that.
Yep. Don't even want.
Yeah.
So that's all I had. You had me. Now, well, to balance it out, of course, there's certain things that you have to do. Like technically, we're not supposed to cook on the Sabbath or kindle a fire.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, if you're hungry, and you got nothing else to eat, then go ahead and do it. Don't be over righteous. That's where the balance comes in.
Right.
You don't want to be OR either, but sex is something that you could have self control over. You don't need to do that every single day. We do need to eat. We do need to sleep. So just to balance it out. When the disciples was picking corn, the wicked Pharisees and Sadducees were telling them, "Oh, look, they're going off. It's the Sabbath. You're not supposed to do that." And then Yahushua gave what? He gave the balance. So there is a balance and all that, but as far as sex, that's something we have power over. So so with that, you cannot have sex on the Sabbath. Abstain from it. As just abstain from it. Period. And if possible, if you do have sex before the Sabbath, take a shower before the sun goes down so you can be clean for the Sabbath. So hopefully with that, your brethren were edified. We're gonna end it by giving all praises and glory
to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, Bahashim Chakurash.
Double honors to the apostles and elders that Shara their will well, and salutations to Joachim out in the highways and the byways, preaching His word in truth and in sincerity. Shalom.
Shalom.
And Baba.